Hi everybody, Russell Markham here from VectorVest. Before we get into it today, please note our license number here and you can check us out more per our webpage. In addition, please note this is general advice only. Please speak to your financial advisor for personal advice. Any forecasts or backtests used in this short presentation here are intended as a guide only. And actual results may be affected by known or unknown risks and uncertainties and therefore may differ materially from the results ultimately achieved. So here we are, as of time recording here, I've got all the valuable information up until the 17th of January, and you'll see here, so this is in the VectorVest market timing graph. So I've gone to graphs, all right, just to close that out to show you how I did it. Go to graphs, on the drop down, market timing, and the layout here, graph layouts. I've put on the MTI layout, and I've just turned off the buy to sell ratio and the relative timing. And the MA 65 on the price, moving average, 65-day on the price there, the VectorVest composite price here. And I've just right-clicked, changed the style here, and I've just made this jump out a bit more. Okay. What I've done here is I've also put on our timing signals here, the confirmed signal, our most conservative signal. And you can see here on the 12th of January, we got our confirmed up. All right, so 12th January. Now, leading up to this, come back here and I put on the primary wave, our most aggressive of all of our timing signals. You can see there on the 5th of January we got that signal. The market was starting to turn. You can see if I zoom it in over here, you can see how the market had pulled back for quite a few days there, and this is exciting when you get the first primary wave. Now, a lot of our Australian subscribers are not going to necessarily jump in on the primary wave. It's a fairly aggressive indicator. Fair enough, if you're not using the primary wave, chances are you're most likely using, let's say, the confirmed signal or our DEW signal, very popular, as well as the GLBRT kicker timing signal. All right, so on the drop down here, let's go and have a look. So our GLBRT kicker, when did that kick in? So we got them kicking in from the 9th to the 10th January, and then kicking in again from the 11th through until the 17th. You can see plenty of signals lighting up. That's that duration. Okay, so plenty of warning there with GLBRT kicker. And then if I change it to the DEW signal, there we are. It lit up on the 12th of January. It's in play, and you can see that also then coincides with the confirmed signal also on that date there. All right, so we've had plenty of signals leading up to the confirmed signal in the DEW, starting off there with the primary wave. All right, primary wave there on the 5th of January. So you're getting plenty of notice that the market's turning. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to benefit from that market turn? And one such way you can take advantage of VectorVest is to use our all-powerful uni search tool. All right, so let's say we are fairly conservative, so we want to go to search as prudent, and we want to get hold of the big end of town, the big blue chip type shares. Best the biggies. This is going to find you some pretty big blue chip type shares, right, with excellent fundamentals and technicals on average. All right, and again, I'm not going to necessarily in this short video here go through all the ins and outs as to what the search does. Certainly come along to the Q&As, come along to our training, and we'll certainly break it out bit by bit for you. For our subscribers, our existing subscribers, you'll know what this all means very well. Okay, well, on the 3rd of January, the start of the year, if I run the search on the 3rd of January, and VectorVest comes back and it brings back the biggest blue chip shares that are meeting some very strict criteria based on fundamentals and technicals. And I say to VectorVest, all right, well, let's say we were at this point here up until the 5th of January. Let's say we could not see anything else other than the 5th of January. So we were up to that point there. This is a handy way to do it. I can cap it there to the 5th. All right, so that's all we could see. We could see this turning point. What are we going to look to buy? And let's say we're conservative, so we're not going to necessarily jump in on the primary wave, which is an aggressive signal, but we're going to start to get our shopping lists ready. What could we look to buy? Let's come along to Unisearch, for example, come along to Best the Biggies and say to VectorVest, well, let's see, on the 3rd of January, let's grab the top 10 and we'll run those through until the 12th. because all we could see was up until the 5th. All right, so I'll just push on OK. And you can see here from 3 Jan through to 5 January, you could see we were up 1.78%. You can see here, if I look at the percentage price change here, some very attractive looking breakout stocks here. Macquarie Group, Min Resources, S32, look at those returns there, very impressive for just from the 3rd through to the 5th. Okay, well, 1 or 2 days doesn't necessarily make a trend. Sure, we've got the primary wave in place, but we know the primary wave can bounce around, as you can see here. So you might be waiting for more of a sustainable type trend. All right, so you got the early warning on the 5th. So as the days progress, as things take place, you can see then that we got our GLB RT kicker. It popped up here on the 9th. Right, 9th of January. So you come back to UniSearch, and again you go, okay, well, since the start of the year, this time around, what we'll do is we'll quick test the top 10 up until the 9th. So let's say you're at your computer there on the 9th, on the evening of the 9th, the information's all come through for the day, and you take another look at it and go, oh, okay, hang on. So we've gone from about 1.78 to just over 6% now. My goodness, look at this. Min, now up 14%. South 32. PLS, wow. This market's really starting to move up. We're starting to see this breakout. We're seeing it on market timing. We're seeing that the big end of town is starting to run. At that point there, that might have been enough for you to consider going into the market. You may very well have gone into the market on the next day if you're after the big blue chip type shares. It's all there in front of you. You've got all the information there. VectorVest is showing you the market's turning. There, those signals popping up. We saw the DEW popping up. Not the DEW, should I say, the primary wave. We'll get to that one shortly. All right, so primary wave. We saw the primary wave popping up, and then we saw the GLB RT kicker coming into play as well. All right, now let's just bring it through until my current date as of time recording here. And if I then bring in the DEW, all right, DEW signal popped in on the 12th, along with our most conservative of all of our timing signals here, the confirmed signal as well. So plenty of signals leading up to our most conservative one there on the 12th of January. So by the 12th of January, you've had plenty of warning. So again, you come back to UniSearch, and again, you could say, all right, well, since the start of the year, all right, so we're just going to go back just a couple of days leading up to these signals just to check out a bit of track record here. I could then quick test the top 10 and run it through until the 12th. So now we bring it up until the 12th. All right, so we had 6%, and we run again, and now we've got up to 8.25. So again, you see it's moving up again. All right, so plenty of evidence that this market's really starting now to break out along with the big blue chip stocks. Now you can see Min's up to 18%, South 32's up to 15%, AKE 15%, Pulbara there 14%, phenomenal returns. Only 2 of them have slipped to the wayside, and 8 have rocketed up. All right, and then if I were to run it through, we'll change it through now to the 17th and run the test. You can see now sort of holding ground, waiting, but that's a good sign. It hasn't slipped back. It's consolidating. Come back to the market timing here. And you can see here, right, we've pulled right through until current date as of time recording here. You can see that trend is definitely breaking out. Look at that. Look at the MTI, the market timing indicator. When it's above 1, we note the underlying trend of the market is up. So all of this is stacking up. So VectorVest has shown you when to buy. It's given you all the signals, depending on how aggressive you want to be or how conservative. So when to buy has been in this area here. UniSearch has then shown us one example of what to buy. All right. So when to buy, what to buy, and then of course when to sell. You can watch each and every one of those given graphs, for example. All right. So let's just give you an example here on the graph, and let's change this to being a VectorVest simple layout. So when would you look to sell? You'd look to sell when effectively the price starts to falter, earnings starts sliding to the downside. It's holding up. It's holding up. You can see if I pull it back a bit here, it's holding up at the moment. Slight bias to the downside, so you just want to watch that carefully. But the technicals are holding up. All right, and you can put on your rec, and it's still a hold. It hasn't moved into a sell. All right, so again, recall the 4 steps to protecting profits. We've covered that in previous videos and weekly essays. So check out the 4 steps to protecting profits for when to sell. All right, so we have shown you a very powerful system, when to buy. You can check out what you want to buy by using the powerful Unisearch tool. So we've covered when to buy, we've covered what to buy, and then once you've bought them, you can use the 4 steps to protecting profits for when to sell. There's the power of VectorVest. Use VectorVest in 2023 to find you those top quality stocks when the market's turning. There's no reason why you could not have done this already using VectorVest, right? You come in here, you could have come in on the 12th, right? Still the confirmed signal on the DW still in play, all right? So it's still there, but you could have come in on the 12th. You can run VectorVest, and there are those stocks. So it's only a few days into it now, and there are those stocks right there waiting for you already. So you've got the tools, apply them in 2023, make 2023 work for you. Use the power of VectorVest. Until next week, bye for now.